Now, ERCOT is asking all Texans to help conserve electricity through Tuesday. The state is already experiencing record-breaking electric demand due to the cold temperatures. CPS Energy is preparing for the increased demand. They are asking customers to help conserve by doing one thing that could make a big impact.
Turn down their thermostats to 68 degrees when they're home. I'm willing to bet that people have it around 75, 77 right now. But if everyone were to reduce that down to 68, that would make a big difference in the amount of energy being drawn from these heating units in their homes.
CPS is also asking residents to turn off and unplug non-essential lights and appliances. And now is the time to prepare for winter weather. Make sure you've downloaded the KENS 5 app before the power goes out. The KENS 5 app will keep you updated with radar and forecasts, road and school closures, power outage maps, and much more.